Hello, friend. Welcome to today's marketing session. We're going to chat about how to start to build a personal brand. And if you are brand new to the page, you might be thinking, I don't even have a brand, or I already have a brand, but you might be surprised at what type of brand I am going to be chatting with you about. And if you've been following along for quite some time, then you have most likely heard me talk to you about why it's so important for us as service-based entrepreneurs to have a personal brand. So, if you are brand new to the page, I first want to personally welcome you. My name is Ginna Tassinelli. I'm the owner and founder of Stylishly Branding, which is a division of our social media marketing agency, Hype Media. I'm also an image consultant, and together with all of those three branches to my business, I support women in business, female entrepreneurs, service-based entrepreneurs, mompreneurs, just like myself, to elevate your personal brand, your style, and your visibility so that you can show up to the right people, show up as a human being, and make real human connections that convert to paying, raving fans, aka clients. So if you're new, hello again. If there's something that you hear that you think is like a super amazing nugget, or just something that, really inspires you or motivates you, I would love for you to drop a hashtag wow, because that lets me know that something I said definitely empowered you and is something that you can take as a tip and hopefully use in your own business. If you are watching this on the replay, do not be shy, because I always come back and I answer all of the comments and questions, and I love to make this conversational. So feel free to, drop any comments down below, to engage, say hello, do not be shy. So I'd love to know if you know what the difference is between a brand, personal brand, specifically a personal brand, and a business brand. So just say yes or no. Oh, thank you, Carrie. Awesome. You guys can hear me good. Okay, so let's just start with that, because I know there's sometimes a lot of confusion between this. A brand is not your logo, it's not your fonts, it's not your color, it's not your website, it's not even your product, okay? A brand, when it relates to you as an entrepreneur, is actually you. It is the human being that is leading your business, which is you. So you are your brand. So that's why it's really important for us as personal brands. And by the way, you do not have to be celebrity status or a huge influencer to be a brand, okay? A brand is you, whether you want it to be or not. Honestly, as a human being, you are the brand of yourself. So as entrepreneurs, we not only represent ourselves, but we also represent our business. We represent our promise to our potential clients, the transformation that we bring to the table for them, right? So it's really important to build that story as a way to express what your business is about, what your values are, what your business's mission is, but you do it in a way where you are in the forefront of telling that story, communicating your business to others. And so that's what really makes you a brand. So when you're thinking about this, about building a personal brand, and to do it successfully, you want to make sure that you do it in a way that gets people to talk about you, to refer you, to, say, hey, oh my gosh, Carrie, you have to listen to Gina's marketing session today on how to build a personal brand. Now, Carrie's not necessarily going to say you need to go listen to Stylishly Branding's marketing session today to listen to how to build a personal brand. If I show up as me, as a real human being, the human that I am, that is bringing these valuable tips to you, that is sharing this information with you, I want you to recognize who I am, not so much stylishly branding. Because stylishly branding can go away, but I will not go away. So in order to make that imprint, you really need to get people to recognize who you are as a person. Now, your business name and your colors and your logo and your website and all that, those are going to be elements that really tell more of your brand story and that get people to recognize who you are when they see a post, or maybe a post is shared and it has your logo on it, they will recognize that. But it really all starts with you. So your personal brand is going to be made up of stories that people tell themselves about you. Those stories can be good or bad, depending on what you're doing and how you're showing up. So I'm going to give you a great example. If you're using social media to market yourself, but on your personal social media profile, you are constantly posting negativity, even things that just aren't uplifting. Maybe you're constantly dishing out your problems on social media and you are an entrepreneur, people are paying attention to that. If you look super disorganized, if you're constantly posting problems, conflicts, people pay attention to that. And that will have an effect on how they perceive your business. So it's really important to, whatever time and energy and care you're putting out there that relates back to your business and that you are attached to, it's really important to put out positivity, ways that you can inspire people. Now, I'm not saying be fake and, pretend like everything is perfect and everything's a white picket fence, because it absolutely is not. That's just not real and that's not life. But there are ways to do it in a way that you can tell a story about something that happened recently, but then how you learned from it or how it helped somebody. So that's the difference. So let's talk about some things that you can do and to keep in mind as you're putting yourself out there in a way that is more strategic and aligned with how you want people to perceive you as a brand. Okay. So number one is you want to work backwards when you are strategically building your personal brand. And so you want to think about, what is it that people say about me? How do people perceive me? Do they feel like I am the best personal trainer in town? Am I a well-known personal trainer in town? Am I known to be confident, to be empowering, to be motivating, to be inspiring? So think about how people would talk about you. And you want to list these things down, okay? And you want to also determine if those things are actually true. Are they true? Are they real? Is it really aligned with who you are as a person, or is it just a facade that you're putting out there? Because depending on how you feel people are perceiving you is going to give you a good idea as to, okay, what do I need to work on? Because obviously the way that I'm putting myself out there is not the way that I want to be perceived. And so you want to make sure that how you truly are is also aligned with how people perceive you. So this gets really deep. I mean, it's really a lot of self-awareness and building self-awareness and a lot of practice. This is not something that just happens overnight, because it's a skill that you have to train yourself to do and to really understand. And so it does take a lot of self-awareness, and even asking your peers, asking maybe close business friends that you've worked with for a while or that know how you behave in business, asking them, a simple question could be, can you give me 5 words that describe me to you? So ask for adjectives that describe you. Okay, so that's number 1. All right. Number 2 is you want to do an identity step. So you want to think about, who are you? All right. So it's more than, my name is Ginna Tassinelli. I am 40 plus years old. I'm a mom of 2. I'm a wife. It's more than that. Who are you? Like, what are your likes? What makes you passionate? What are you passionate about? What makes you happy? How do you think of yourself in the next year, 2 years, 5 years, 10 years? Who do you want to be? So, and you want to make a list of these also. What are your unique superpowers? What are your hobbies? What are your opinions? What are your personal values that drive your decisions? What are your personality traits that come naturally to you? What are your expert opinions as well? So all of these things make up who you are. Okay, number 3, which we kind of touched on in number 1, is you want to do an influence step. And by the way, I honestly believe that we are all influencers in some capacity. Now, that word influencer has been used way differently in marketing. So, if you think of influencer, you might think of somebody that's got 100,000 plus followers. They're constantly posting pictures of themselves, sharing stories of themselves. That does not actually make you an influencer. What makes you an influencer is somebody that influences other people. And you can do that in a variety of different ways. It could be the transformations that you create for others. So you don't have to have all of these, crazy huge amounts of followers in order to be considered an influencer. Sometimes it has a derogatory word to it to some. To others, it makes people feel as if they can never reach that level. But I believe honestly that if you're sharing something that gives or helps people move them through a transformation, you are an influencer. So you want to take this influence step and you want to think about, how do people see you, which we've already kind of touched on. But there are 2 ways of doing this. Okay, so create 2 to 5 minute elevator pitches. Okay, and this is where you're going to tell the who, the what, the when, where, the why, and how questions. So this can be also what you hear as a USP, a unique service proposition statement, a unique value statement as well. So there's different ways to call this, but basically a quick little format is, I help blank to do blank so that they can blank. Okay, so that would be, and you can expand on that. But for example, you may have heard a shortened version of mine when I first started this session this morning or this afternoon. And I said, I support high achieving female entrepreneurs to elevate their personal brand, style, and visibility so that they can connect authentically with their right clients and convert them into raving fans or paying fans. Okay, so that's just a short version of one of mine. I have various ones. It depends on the audience that I'm speaking to. Let me go over to the chat. Okay. All right. Next one. Number 4. So you want to do a quality step. And what I mean by that is, why should people care? So the purpose of personal branding is to create personal value. You want to bring value to the table. That's how you will move people from different stages of that customer journey the awareness stage, the consideration stage, the conversion stage, the retention stage. And you want people to like, know, and trust you. So the only way that people can get to like you, to know you, and to trust you is when you provide value to them. It can be done in various different ways, with your content, with your messages, with the way you direct message them, with your emails, the way you tell stories that inspire and that have a meaning to them, that can give them some inspiration or a tip on something, your testimonials. All of these are pieces of valuable, I guess, content in a way that get people to care as to what it is you have to say. And the more that people care and want to consume more of what it is you have to say, the more they're going to like, know, and trust you and see you as a personal brand, which then allows yourself to be seen as an expert and to get paid attention to. And then you're able to sell more of your offers, more of your products, more of your services. Number 5 is the product step. So what do people actually see? And when we're talking about product, we're not necessarily talking about what we're selling. Okay, because what we're selling is actually a transformation. So the product is the tangible thing that they are receiving in exchange for that sale, for that money transaction. But what you're actually selling is a transformation. But how are people seeing that product? So if people are constantly seeing, let's see what I have over here. So if people are constantly seeing a bracelet, okay, and you are not a national retailer, you don't have millions of dollars to invest in advertising. So maybe you're running an e-commerce store and you aren't getting enough traffic to your website or to your social media profiles, but all you're posting are product images. That is not going to get people to want to buy this, or at least not to want to continue to buy things from you when all you're doing is posting product images. But if you share the transformation that they can receive when they wear this bracelet, so you get them to imagine what it feels like to have this bracelet on. And with images, you can share images of what it looks like, right? But in your copywriting, you want to share an experience of what it's like to wear this bracelet. How does it make you feel? So you want to give that emotional, or you want to add that emotional touch to your products so that they see your products and they pay attention to your products. And the way to create that story is to create or communicate the transformation. That's going to really get you to stand out above the rest that are doing the same thing. So you want to create a unique personal brand identity when you are attracting your clients. Otherwise, you're going to be like every other person that sells the bracelet, right? You're not going to stand out. You're not going to get seen through the clutter. All right, so I'm going to do a quick recap. And if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down below. So how do you start building a personal brand? Number 1, you want to have a strategic personal branding that works backwards. Okay, so what are people saying about you? That's one of the most important things. Start to take inventory of how you're showing up. And from there, you are going to make enhancements, improvements. Number 2 is the identity step. Who are you? This is a call to your identity. So essentially, it's the who part of your personal brand, which is all about you. So more so than your age, your gender, and what it is you do. What are your unique skills? What are your experiences? Share personal stories. What are your expert opinions? What are your values? those types of things. Number 3 is the influence step. How do people see you? So find out, ask people close to you to give you 5 words to describe you. And then you want to create a unique service proposition, okay? Or an elevator pitch. And that could be a 2 to 5 minute elevator pitch. If you're going to use it on social media or in your bios, keep it to maybe just a few sentences so you can definitely shorten it. But it's the who, what, when, where, why, and how questions that you want to answer in that elevator pitch. So I support blank to do blank so that they can blank is a quick little outline or format that you can use. Number 4 is the quality step. Why should people care? Why should people pay attention to you? So what value are you bringing to the table? What transformation are you bringing to them? And you want to use your marketing content, the content that you're putting out there, to communicate this. Number 5 is the product step. So what do people see when you are making your offers, when you're selling? Are they just seeing product, or are they feeling the transformation? Are they getting excited? Are you taking them through an experience? And that is all that I have for today. Okay, so I will see you next week. Until then, have a fabulous rest of the week. Bye, guys.